On the border of California and Nevada, the towering peaks of the Sierra Nevada mountains plunge precipitously to meet the vast expanse of the Great Basin. This is a land of extremes. Vast stretches of arid, seemingly inhospitable land are punctuated by life-giving streams and springs. Within this ecosystem exist several endangered species of animals that face the inherent challenges imposed upon them by this harsh environment, as well as ever-increasing anthropogenic pressures. Let's meet these species. At the Lahontan National Fish Hatchery, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service works hard to restore the once thriving Lahontan cutthroat trout. Lahontan cutthroat are adept at surviving in a myriad of natural habitats, including alkaline lakes, freshwater lakes, fast-flowing streams, and meandering rivers. Lake-dwelling members of the species can grow to great size, 40 to 60 pounds, and are prized for their sports fishing opportunities. The fish grow by eating a diet of terrestrial and aquatic insects and small fish.
The dominant threats to this species has been and will continue to be non-native species. The introduction of predators and competitors like brook trout, lake trout, and rainbow trout have pushed the Lahontan cutthroat trout out of much of where it historically thrived. Some of these additions have come accidentally, as the introduced species has spread beyond where they are intended to be introduced, but many of the additions were the result in conscious management practices by fish and wildlife agencies that sought to increase sport fishing opportunities in their waters. This has resulted in the remaining Lahontan population being small, isolated from one another, and challenging to maintain without artificial hatchery supplementation. This reality will make the species more susceptible to a changing climate in the future that could increase water temperatures and reduce snowfall in the mountains that produces the snowmelt that feed the rivers and lakes throughout the spring and summer in which the Lahontan makes its home.
At Crystal Springs, within Ash Meadows National Wildlife Refuge, you can find the endemic Ash Meadows Amargosa pupfish.
Pupfish are fairly small. However, they can withstand conditions that most fish could not. Pupfish usually live in desert areas, so they are exposed to high temperatures that average 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the summer and can sometimes reach 116 degrees Fahrenheit. Pupfish can also survive in temperatures as low as 32 degrees Fahrenheit and can also tolerate salt content that is 4 times that of ocean water and live in water that has little oxygen. Pupfish breed from April to October, and it is during this time that the males turn a bright metallic blue. This is also the time when males become super aggressive and very protective of their breeding territory. During the breeding season, schools of female fish and males that are not breeding swim around the territories of the breeding males, and if a female is attracted to a male, she will leave the school of fish. Females only lay 1 egg per spawning, but can lay multiple eggs during the breeding season.
An endangered species that can be found in the Rainbow Basin is the desert tortoise. These desert tortoises can live up to around 50 to 80 years old, and they tend to grow and age slowly. Most desert tortoises also tend to have low reproductive rates, which doesn't help that they are an endangered species. Their lives consist of being sheltered in burrows, rocks, and pellets in order to reduce water loss and regulate body temperature. Tortoises have the ability to grow around 10 to 14 inches. They create a subterranean environment when they make their burrows, so it is also beneficial to other animals such as birds, reptiles, mammals, and invertebrates. The burrows that they build are tunnels dug into the soil, while the rock shelters are spaces that are protected by boulders and rocks. Their homes can reach up to 3 to 10 inches deep in the soil.
The biggest pressure facing the desert tortoise is habitat loss and fragmentation from both expanding urban population centers and free-range cattle grazing. Neither of these pressures is likely to subside. Each species examined in this film is an irreplaceable part of the biodiversity of its ecosystem. Each fulfills an important ecological niche, and its disappearance would have a far-reaching impact upon other species within its community. As humans, we have an unparalleled ability to write the future of these species. It has largely been our intrusions, tinkerings, and excesses that have pushed these species into the precarious positions that they now occupy. While our continued reckless action certainly has the capability of pushing them from existence entirely, Diligent work done with strong foresight and careful appreciation for the complexities of the natural world and the shortcomings of our own wisdom can ensure the survival of these species.